Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for January Tarot Oracle reading. And Leo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Leo, we still all have a little bit of Leo in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Leo in? That is where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. I've already shuffled the cards, just giving them a quick cut, and we will begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have the Fool. Yay! That's a perfect energy for this time of year. The Fool is representing someone who's on a totally new cycle. And this is perfect energy because we are, as I do this reading, Merry Christmas if you are celebrating Christmas. And we are in this energy of the new, because the new year is right around the corner after Christmas, and we are moving from 2025, which is a 9-year, 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, and that is the end, representing the end of a cycle. And then we have the new energy of 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, and that is representing a 1 year. So this is about not just moving in from 1 year to another, but also moving from one decade-long cycle to another decade-long cycle. And so we're really feeling that energy this year compared to other years in the past. And then for the underlying energy of the internal forces, those are what you have control over, and that's in the bottom part of my spread here. This energy is the 369, and if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, he said, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. So this is about a ratio, and it's talking about like the pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness, abundance on earth. And this energy is saying, understanding how much to give, how much to take, how much of your time, how much of your energy, should you give and take, and when you should be, when you do it and when you don't, kind of energy. And so she has her hand on 6 pentacles, and then she's got 3 in the bush here, and they're behind her. So she's willing to invest them in, whatever investment she wants, as well as maybe empowering her family and that kind of energy. But she always keeps her hand on 6, because she knows that if she doesn't keep feeding herself and making sure that the cycle continues, she won't have anything left to give. And this energy here is a falcon, and she sends the falcon out to go and get the bigger picture. So this represents someone that researches what they're doing and the energy, that before they put their energy into it, and having a good overview of what they're about to invest in and how their situation is. This can also talk about your personal environment and making sure that it's clutter-free, that you have freedom to move. Okay, and we have here, for the first card out for the internal forces, there's some disappointment here. There's 3 cups here. Cups represent love. It's quite often romantic love, but it can also be something you love to do or be, that kind of energy, or other, like family members you love or something like that. So there's some disappointment here. This person is sitting under the tree, and, the universe and God are offering him another cup of love, but he's like, I don't even want to take it. Is it going to be more of the same old shift? So this can represent someone that he has given 3 chances to, and 3 strikes, you're out kind of energy, Or it could represent 3 different relationships that he's had that weren't successful in love, and he just doesn't want to make himself vulnerable again. It's that kind of energy. Or it could be, if you have applied for maybe 3 positions in something you love to do, but you never received any of them. That's the sort of energy. And then we have the star coming out. So the star is talking about you're born to shine. You're part of the universal plan. So you're not insignificant. And that's why the universe is handing you another cup of love. So you might want to take it. How long are you going to sit under that tree and be disappointed for? Does it make sense just to sit there and not have another go at it? And this is talking about then dipping your energy in. She has two vessels here, and she's dipping her energy into the universal waters. She's got one foot in, and she's got this one on land. So she's grounded, as well as it's representing expansion and contraction, and she is pouring the universal waters onto the earth. So this represents being able to take the energy from above and bring it down to the earth and really make something of it. This energy is saying you are a unique individual, you are a star, and you were born to shine. So shine. That's the energy. And then we have reconciliation. So perhaps there's a love relationship that you were in, and this is like, should you give them another chance? Because, hey, if this is 3 strikes and they're already out, I'm a firm believer, if people show you who they are, believe them the first time. But that would be something up to you. The reconciliation card is someone from the past coming in sometimes. It also can be reconciliation within yourself. This card, the first step for reconciliation is forgiveness. So it could be about forgiving others or forgiving yourself, or for your part in perhaps you were the one that cheated 3 times or something on your partner, and they're, you're disappointed because they don't want to give you a chance. So the universe is saying, well, you need to learn your lesson, and then try again. Do it again. Don't try, just do it. And so this energy of the reconciliation, this energy has been coming up a lot because it's the holiday season. So maybe you're going to bump into someone in the holiday season that you've known in the past. Maybe you had an innocent childhood relationship with someone, and you bump into them, when you're visiting your family for Christmas, kind of energy. And then all of a sudden, love is blooming in all these cups here. And then this energy is talking about the High Priestess. So this is about using your intuition. The High Priestess sits next to God on the throne. And this is saying that, there's good and there's evil. There's light and there's dark. There's negative and there's positive and negative kind of energy. And so good and evil. And so this is the extremes, and you have to get neutral to everything in between. When you get neutral to the extremes, then you get neutral to what's in between. Then you can make strong decisions instead of like coming from a really emotional place. And Leo is like a leader type energy. And so sometimes if Leo doesn't feel confident, then they sort of become arrogant because, hey, fake it until you make it kind of energy. And we have justice coming in. So some sort of injustice did happen here, and I feel it was in your love life, and it may have involved, it could have involved coin, but it may have just involved, you giving more to the relationship than you received, because we have those 3 pentacles there and the 3 cups here. But when we started this off, it says that you're off on a new journey, and that would be because justice comes in. And look how similar these 2 cards are. There's these 2 extremes. They're sitting in the throne in between them. And this energy is talking about also recognizing that that we want justice, not just, we want it on the spiritual realm as well as the physical. And this energy, because there's a moon in the full moon on January 3rd is going to be in Cancer. And the High Priestess really follows the cycles of the moon, and follows her intuition. And the moon is sometimes about illusions, and we have to overcome them. But the other thing is that this moon on the 3rd is in Cancer, and it's a very emotional moon, and we're already starting to feel its pull. And the reason for this is that the sun is in Capricorn. We just moved into Capricorn energy. We were in Sagittarius, until the 20th, and now we moved into Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is very ambitious, and it's kind of facing off with this Cancer moon. And so the sun and the moon are facing each other, and the sun is saying, let's go for it. Let's go for an adventure. Let's go start a new journey. Let's build something. Let's climb that mountain. We can do it. Let's make a goal and let's reach for it. And the Cancer energy is saying, no, I want to stay home. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to have to change. That kind of energy. And so it's about being caught. I feel like this is talking about being caught in between starting the journey and ending the old one. And we have here the Eight of Cups, and this is exactly what this is talking about. So the Eight of Cups, you notice there's 3 cups here. There's 5 in total, but these 3 have been very disappointing. And this person has just decided, you know what, I'm done. I am done. I am not going to put 1 more ounce of energy into this. I've put 6 coins in, and I've even invested some of these 3, and it's still not paying off, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm done. And this is the energy of looking forward to the new, and we have the crescent moon here. And also, I feel like it's talking about that Cancer emotional energy coming in on the 3rd, that we can already feel that pull of. And so this is saying, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to entertain this. Maybe I will take a new cup. You know, I'm going to heal and take a new cup, and I'm going to go on a new journey. And because these internal forces are what you have control over. So this energy is, you know, you can't control what others do in relationships, but you can control whether you react or you respond to the energy. And so this is how you see yourself, your identity of just being disappointed, and like love doesn't work for you kind of energy is what I'm picking up. And then abundance and self-worth. This energy is, you know, like recognizing, hey, you're a leader, you're born to shine, so shine. That's your job, is to shine and bring that down to earth. And then we have communication in your early life. So this energy could be talking about that energy of like feeling kind of like the odd guy out in your family, or not being good at sports or something. That's kind of energy I'm picking up. And so really feeling like you just didn't fit in, or you didn't excel, and you not really knowing your place. And some people are just mature later than others. And you know, the this energy here is about your emotional foundation and your home and family. And so this is like, if you come from a very logical family and this is the way you do things, you might want to throw some of your intuition in there, because when you combine the intuition and logic, you get creative solutions. And that's what justice was really about. Justice is about being in a place where you have both the spiritual and the physical are satisfied. And a lot of people think of themselves as being, you know, a human being with a soul, but you're actually a soul that is traveling in a human body. That's your vehicle to get around. And this energy also is about, here is about, you know, your daily routine and habits and your health. And so it's kind of like, this has really dragged you down, I'm getting, and it's really pulling on you in a way that you don't want, because you're giving too much of your energy to something that wasn't working. So it's time to walk. I feel like it's time for the new. That's what this is saying. New. New energy. Yeah, and this card here talks about these 3 cups. This card's been coming up a lot. This is talking about what happened with these 3 cups. And so there's 3 people here instead of 2, so there could have been cheating. And it's also, you know, sometimes when we get in relationships and they're kind of like what we think we should have and how society wants us to be, then these people are toasting. But if you look, you'll notice none of them are looking at each other. They're looking at the cups. So they're actually toasting what is, like the relationship or the engagement or the marriage or whatever, but they're not looking at each other. So they're not toasting each other. And because the cups are what represents romantic love, and there's a lot of cup energy here, this is saying that, you know, in many cultures, in particular in Europe, if you don't look at someone when you are toasting them, it causes 7 years bad luck in your love life. So maybe you've done that. No. So this is the energy, though. It's saying, and this is gossip and slander. Like, could have been someone who was cheating on you and everybody knew and nobody told you. So then it didn't feel like you were just disappointed in your lover. You were also disappointed in your friends and family who did not tell you. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So I'm just getting that, because there's a lot of Pentacles here. So you've put in a lot of work and you're walking away from 8 cups. Like, that's a lot of energy. That's not a small thing. And so I feel that you've been multitasking and really, you know, hard at work so that you could provide well, if you have a partner. And this energy is talking about, you know, constantly juggling your time and your energy, and that you weren't doing it in a balanced way. And so you may feel taken advantage of. And it also talks about if we do too much multitasking, it can really make us have more quantity than quality in our work and in our love, you know, in our life. So it might have been you really were juggling time and didn't have much time for a romance. And that was a big reason why. But I'm getting that they enjoyed your money, but they, you know, without enough time invested in each other, then that kind of energy is coming up. And we also have the infinity symbol here. So like, this is infinite potential, but it's saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And someone juggled some morals here. And we have the King of Wands. Well, the King of Wands is the sexiest king in the deck. So this, you know, realizing that these are archetypes. In the tarot, the figures on the cards, the characters are archetypes. So this could be a king in his masculine energy, or a male in his masculine energy, or a female in her masculine energy, just as like all the cards in the tarot. So the King of Wands is someone who's like the sexiest king, very charismatic, really, you know, visionary, loves action, loves his wand. So this king is the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's the life of the party. A lot of people would, you know, he's highly desirable, you know, that kind of energy. And so you may be that person, or you may have been with someone like that, and they had a lot of options, and you know, maybe the relationship kind of grew apart because of all the time. Maybe they were also juggling their time and that kind of energy. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles coming in. So the Ace of Pentacles is saying, here's a reward for following your North Star. You stayed on your path. You were disappointed, but here's, you know, forgive yourself for what happened here, and forgive the, you know, the other person. That doesn't mean you have to reconcile with them, but just let it go as much as you can so that you can move into this new energy, because this new journey is waiting for you, and there's no better time than now. And so this is a reward for, you know, staying on your path and following your North Star. So now the universe and God want to reward you. And there was temptation. So this is what it's showing here. So, you know, we have, this is very similar to the Lovers in the Lovers card, except we've got the Devil instead of the Sun. And so this energy is to people who are chained to this Saturn's box. And Saturn energy, that's the Capricorn energy that we're in right now, that's ruled by Saturn. So it's like really getting caught up in material gain and living a certain lifestyle. This energy, where is this sitting? It's sitting in career and your public image. Yeah. So it's kind of your reputation and all of that. So there was some sort of temptation that came up, either for the King of Wands and in being in that energy, being passionate about you know, their wand. That's to put it blunt. And this temptation, they perhaps acted upon it. And you might be that King of Wands. You might be disappointed in yourself, or you were with a King of Wands. When the devil temptation energy comes up, I like to cover it, because you're not going to get the truth from the devil. And this energy, the devil isn't like a real person. So it's like they have to send a minion in to do their dirty work. And look at that. What happened? A tower. A reality check came in. So bolt of lightning hit out of nowhere, and the truth came out about this affair, I feel. And so that's the position you're in. And one person was totally shocked, and the other person was totally like, kind of like expecting it, you know? I kind of was worried this would happen, kind of energy, that you would find out or that the other person would find out. And so lightning, the reality check, is not a pleasant thing to go through quite often, because the universe may have been nudging you and saying, you know, you might want to look at this relationship, and then, you know, then giving you the frying pan treatment so you would be able to notice it, but you didn't get it. So now it's like you're getting the 2x4, and the reality check has hit. And this is something you can't ignore. It's like right in your face. And this is in the energy of blessings and friends. And this could be saying that maybe it was a friend of yours that was cheating with your partner, that kind of energy, someone you thought was your friend, or even a family member, it could be. And then we have the Queen of Swords energy comes out. Yeah. So the Queen of Swords is sometimes like considered like the most cold of all the energies, and she's the most of all of the queens, and she's the most likely to be separated or divorced. She's very much an individual. She doesn't need to be in a relationship. She's a queen. If she's in a relationship, it's because she wants to be, but she doesn't put up with bullshit. She's got her left hand out. She's willing to receive, but she's not, you better come in straight, because she's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and she's not going to tolerate this disappointing energy again. And I feel like this is speaking of your energy, where you're just like, I'm not willing to put up with the same old shift that I put up with before. So this, if this isn't like a real true offer, then, you know, I'm not interested, not at all. And because this energy here is the external forces, and you can tell when those come up, because instead of saying what if, you're saying what the F happened, what the EF happened, that kind of energy. External forces happened. Someone else came into your relationship. That's the energy I'm picking up. And it might have been someone that you really trusted. So it wasn't just like a double, you know, it was a double whammy, you know, instead of just a single whammy. And so this could represent that, you know, it wasn't just that it was someone that this happened, but it was that it was with someone that what you thought was a friend. So you not only lost your partner, but you lost a friend, and then maybe other friends knew about it and they didn't tell you. And so that's that kind of deception is hard to get over. It can be like, you know, it multiplies, right? And I forgot to get the underlying energy for this position for the external forces. So let's see what it is. And it is the Magician. There we go. So the Magician, we're talking about, you know, an energetic upgrade from the external forces. I'm getting you're going to meet someone that is going to be perfect for you. And you have experience now, and you love yourself enough now that you're going to walk away from something that you don't want. Now you know what you've shown the universe. This is what I don't want. And so now this is as above, so below. And it's talking, look at the Magician is pointing to this person that you're on a new journey. You need to go to the 0 point and go on another cycle. It's the perfect time to do it. And you have the tools, like you know yourself better now. You know what you'll tolerate, what you won't. You know how much to give and how much to take. It's that kind of energy. So it's really awesome. If you're enjoying this, please do give it a like and a comment. It really does empower me to build my channel. And I'm going to clarify this now with my oracle cards. My oracle is Tales from the Vector, and it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I began it in 2007. I'm an artist, and I did like 64 paintings to complete it. And I completed it in 2020. And I've had it out and about at psychic fairs and stuff, but I didn't have all the cards done at that time. So now I'm playing with it on the internet because I plan to bring the deck out, and I'm working on the information that goes with it. While I'm talking to you, I'm tuning into this energy just to see what pops out. So this energy, in the description box below, I will have these cards. Oh, this is the one that wants, there's a couple that want to come out. So I will, in the description box below, I will have the numbers of the paintings as they're listed on my website, and that's talesfromthevector.com, TAILS from thevector.com. And I will have them listed in the order they appear. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out there and get a little bit more information and take a look at the paintings. So the energy that's coming out is the Gemini energy. So this is about learning, and it's about creative solutions as well as using your logic. And so this is like on your new journey, that's what I'm getting. You've learned a lot. Like you're in kindergarten maybe because you're in a different energy. If you do something new, of course you have to start to get to know the person and all of that. But having said that, you're also in an energy of that you've learned a lot already. And this is about making sure that you communicate to others what it is you actually want. And now that you know what you want and what you don't want, you're better able to communicate that to others. And then the other card that wanted to come out is the Taurus energy. So this is about right on the give and receive, what I said. You know, learning, like Taurus energy is the toddler. And you know how the toddler doesn't want to share. This is also Venus. This is love. This is, you know, Venus rules love. So this is talking about perhaps you give too much or take too much at times, you know. And it could, I'm just getting what this is also saying is, you know, with the Gemini energy and the twins, and, you know, sometimes Gemini energy is accused of being like very like 360, you know, like 1 minute they're doing this and then they're back again. And so that's the kind of energy, it's volatile. And I feel like this is saying that maybe your love language with the other person was not the same as their love language. So they didn't recognize what you were giving. Like it didn't matter to them the same as it mattered to you. So it appeared that they didn't appreciate it because, well, they didn't. It wasn't what it wasn't what they wanted. It was what you want in a relationship. So when that communication becomes more clear, it's a lot easier to get along, right? And not to feel like degraded. So I felt, yeah, so on some level you really felt like this person degraded you, you know, like they embarrassed you, and yeah. And plus I'm getting, you know, these days, if you find out your partner has been having an affair, and have they been using protection, that kind of energy. And so it's that kind of like, then you have to go to the doctor and all of that stuff, right, to get checked out. And oh, the star is on the star, but you were meant to shine, so shine away. And you can choose to be like this card here. The white flowers represent innocence, and she's wearing a white mitt, and it's saying she doesn't want to get her hands dirty. So this is innocence. And that's what, in my oracle, the card for the star is innocence. You're born to shine. It's like just deciding that you want to have more of a childlike energy as far as like being willing to explore and play and enjoy life instead of having to be too serious all the time. And then we have the Scorpio energy coming in. So this is about, are you going to unite or conquer? Scorpio is really good at uniting and elevating other people. They're very good with their words. But having said that, that energy, sometimes Scorpio energy has a good stinger. So if a Scorpio feels pissed off with someone or feels like they've been disappointed or degraded, they will let that stinger loose, and you'll know it. Their words in particular can be very stinging. And then we have the perception. This is about, you know, looking at both extremes and being able to get neutral. So, you know, a lot of times we think, and this may have happened, the other person in your relationship thought the grass was greener, and then they found out it was fake, and maybe they wanted to come back and you gave them another chance, that kind of energy. Or, you know, if you were the one that cheated, that you thought the grass was greener, but then you found out it was fake. The problem is that if you're not happy in your relationship and you don't fix what's bothering you in yourself, or you don't know what you want, we have a tendency to repeat the same old mistakes if we don't learn from them. And so that's what that's energy. And the Aquarius energy is, yeah, this is saying, I really feel it would be a good idea if you're moving into this new energy. Aquarius is all about experimenting. So go on dates. Like, don't get all wrapped up in the first person. Like, give yourself permission to, you know, go on a few dates if you haven't done that before, and then just observe, how does this person make me feel? How does that person make me feel? You know, and if they make you feel better, then double up on it. Go on another date with them. But don't, you know, the first conversation isn't about marriage. You know what I mean? You don't take it so seriously. It's just you want to get to know them first and see if you even want to go on another date with them, let alone whether you want to be in a relationship with them. And then we have the Cancer energy coming in. So this energy is of the full moon coming up on January 3rd. There will be a full moon in Cancer. And this energy, it's going to be very emotional. So be kind of prepared for that if you're walking away now, like if you're making that decision and you haven't done it yet. Because this energy is about, you know, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is in Cancer. And that's that adolescent girl energy, like when girls get to the age where you know, their hormones are beginning and they're becoming women, and their cycles are starting. They can become very roller coaster emotional. And I feel like a lot of people are going to feel a lot of emotion on the January 3rd full moon. I am planning, if I have time, I'm planning to do a reading for that, so you can keep an eye out for that. And then we have destruction. This is clarifying the energy of the external forces that you don't have control over. It's kind of like saying, but you have the tools to, you know, bring what you want down to earth from this energy. You can pick and choose how you're going to carry yourself and decide how you're going to, you know, who you're going to date and who you're not going to date, and what you'll tolerate in a relationship and what you won't. And that's taking control of your external forces. And it's a whole new world when you do that. When you start getting neutral to the extremes and you're able to recognize, hey, like, I just don't, that's not what I want. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just like, I'm just not into that. And if this person was someone that, like, say they wanted to golf every day and you don't even golf, you don't like it, probably at some point, if it's like a real important thing for them, it might become an issue. You know, that's the kind of energy. And then we have the worldly and otherworldly desires. So this is about juggling those, you know, and I don't mean like just in morally, but I'm talking about juggling your time and your energy and understanding this ratio that you need to feed into yourself, and then you'll have more to give other people. You have to know, like, if you're multitasking to the point where there's more quantity than there is quality, then you're probably, you know, too busy. That's the kind, you know, the kind of energy. And we have the Magician on here again. So this is saying you are the magician. You deserve the energetic upgrade. You are sexy. You are the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. That kind of energy. And this can also apply, remember, this could be a woman in her masculine energy. And so it's kind of like making that choice to be that person that you want to be in your love life. And then the dissemination. So believing in your own press. Sometimes, like when people are trying to motivate other people, they will tell you, you know, oh, you have to believe in yourself. But the problem is, if you have limiting beliefs about your ability to have love in your life, and you haven't had a lot of good experiences, then you could believe that love isn't for you, and that's not true. So the pentacle comes in because it's a reward for following your path, like your journey, what you came here for. And so that also includes your, your romantic partners. And so sometimes, there's an elephant in the room and everybody ignores it, but you need to be aware of what it is you want. And if it doesn't match what other people want, then that's okay. And then the Libra energy is about being mature enough. This is Venus energy as well as here. This is a toddler playing around in love energy, and now you're a mature adult now. Like you've learned a lot from this kindergarten energy. You have a much greater sense of what you want, like how much do you want to socialize, like what kind of person, like this is the marriage card. Libra is a mature adult ready to get married with the justice scales. So it's having that balance, between give and take and, socializing and being home. That energy I was talking about, like between Capricorn and Cancer energy, having the responsibility to go out there and take what you want in the world. But at the same time, this energy of wanting to be home. And the Cancer energy wants to be home so much that the crab carries the shell on their back, and that is their home. So they leave home, but they never actually leave it. And so then we have the strength. So yeah, this is staying in your own integrity and having the courage to face, okay, what was my part in this? Like, what was it, what is it about myself that I wasn't seeing? And be really honest with yourself. Like, what do you want? If you in a partner, like what kind of partner do you want to be? And so like being able to face a lot of maybe the fears around commitment that come up from since you were a child. It could be regarding the way that you were raised in your first family, that energy, or the way you weren't, like what was happening there, and whether or not you want to have a commitment in the same way that your parents did, that kind of energy. But I feel like this is really cool. This is really good. And so if you haven't totally faced this yet, I'm getting by the full moon, you will, and you're getting ready to do so. But also recognize that if you get really emotional, like if you've done it already, and on the 3rd of January, all of a sudden you're starting to feel really emotional, give it 24 to 48 hours before you act on it. Because all of a sudden then the pull of the moon eases and you're like back to, oh, okay, I'd rather be ambitious, right? So just, recognize that it's moving into the new year is going to be a little bit emotional, more emotional for most people than usual. And especially, breaking up is hard to do, right? So please do like and comment, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back. If I have time, I will do the full moon for January 3rd reading. And otherwise, I will be doing the mid-month reading. Bye for now.